Hello everyone, this is BMD Portraits, and I just want to show you how I draw realistic skin tone, how I layer, how I blend it using Prismacolor Premier Colored pencil. So I'm gonna be doing a slice on this particular portrait of BLACKPINK Jisoo, and let me show you how I blend smooth skin tone like this one, and what are the colors that I combine and the colors that I mixed together in order to achieve her skin tone, which is really smooth. So I'm gonna be telling you all the pencils that I will use, or that I use here, so you will have an idea on what colors to use and how to mix them together. So what I usually do is I go from dark to light, but you can also do the other way around. So as long as you were able to identify your dark tones, your mid tones, and then your light tones, and then the highlights. So let me show you how I do this. This is the layering stage, so it's going to be very light in terms of the pressure that you need to use in layering. So this pencil that I use first is the PC947. This is the dark umber PC947. So basically I use this on very dark parts. So again, I'm applying it using very light pressure, because we are here at the layering stage. We don't want to damage or to flatten the tooth of the paper. We need the tooth of the paper in order to layer many layers of colors. The paper that I use here is the Strathmore 400 series smooth surface. Although this paper is a bit smoother than the Venom surface, which is the textured version of the Bristol, it still has very nice fine tooth to it, so it's not really totally smooth. We cannot use, especially with Prismacolor, we cannot use papers with no texture or tooth at all. So this paper has really nice texture to it. So I'm layering using circular motion, because it's going to be easier to blend. So this is the shadow of her finger. I already put black, but I want to add this dark umber to get the correct tone of the shadow. Then the next pencil that I will use is this. This is the PC937, the Tuscan Red. So when you layer very lightly, as much as possible, you need to keep your pencils sharp, because it's going to be a lot easier to blend when the marks of the pencils are quite fine. There are several techniques. There are other artists who layer and blend Prismacolor a bit different from what I do. There are artists who do the pure burnishing technique, where you don't need to use many colors, you just need to apply or to layer Prismacolor using harder pressure to flatten the tooth of the paper. But me personally, I like the layering technique, and then I blend and burnish towards the end. I only use harder pressure, or I burnish just towards the end of the layering process, because I want to layer as many colors as I think I needed in order to build the skin tone. So this is the second pencil that I use. This is the PC937 Tuscan Red. Again, like what I always suggest, especially for beginners, the #1 secret in realism, in colored pencil realism, is especially when you are trying to achieve realistic skin tone. The number one advice that I give is you need to practice patience. You need to keep it slow. So her skin is really delicate, so we really need to do it really with a lot of care and patience. I wish I could add some background music so you will not get bored watching this, but because it's off copyright, I could not do it. I'm still using the PC937, the Tuscan Red. Although the skin tone is quite fair, there are different kind of shades, so I just need to patiently lay it very gently and delicately. So the highlight of the face is right here, this one, and right here. So you just need to continue until you're satisfied with the tone. Okay, I'm quite happy with it, so I'm gonna move with our next pencil. I think I'm gonna use this PC902 or Ultramarine just for the very dark shadows. Basically just here on the edge of the face. And for the shadow of the finger, it makes the shadow a bit cooler. And then the next pencil that I will use is this very nice purple color. This is the PC1008, the Perma Violet. This is the Perma Violet. You cannot get the correct tone of the skin if you just use 2 or 3 pencils. You need to use many layers of colors. And in order to choose the colors that you will use, you need to study your reference photo. I think you need to do some trial and error, or if possible, if you are still learning to pick the colors that you will use, it's I think I suggest if you do swatches of colors on separate paper, so you'll have an idea of the colors that you need to combine to achieve the skin tone based on your reference. But you can adjust, you can always adjust while drawing. You may see the colors that you needed to add, or the colors that you don't need. But you can't go wrong with basic skin tone colors like browns and like light browns, maroon colors, pink, flesh, light violet or purple, pale orange colors, and even green. But for this particular drawing, I don't think I need to add green. So even if I'm not yet blending or burnishing, because the paper is a bit smoother compared to the vellum surface, it's kinda smooth already. So I think I'm satisfied with that already. I'm gonna use the next pencil, which is this is the PC925 or the Crimson Lake. It's like a very dark orange. So I can see this kind of tone here under the eye. I hope you can forgive me with my English. By the way, for those who don't know, I am from the Philippines. I am a Filipino. I hope you can understand what I'm talking about. So here on the side of the nose, there is a bit concentration of this color. And then here on the edge of the cheek, the transition between the very dark shadow here and the face. So I add this PC925, the Crimson Lake. Okay, so the next pencil is the PC942 or the Yellow Ochre. I think I need to put this color almost on the entire face. To make everything a little bit warmer. So I'm still layering using very light pressure. Although I'm making it a little bit faster than how I usually do it. Because I don't want to bore you watching this very slow real-time process. But I hope you appreciate because a lot of you are asking me to do real-time coloring of the skin tone because you want to see the actual process in real time. So here it is. You can skip around, but I hope you can find time also to watch from beginning to end, so you know how to build the skin tone. And I know some of you have already tried using Prismacolor. And also there are some of you who already are seasoned colored pencil artists, but I just want to show you my style. You might want to try this also. So this is the layered skin tone. This is the blended or the burnished skin tone. So later on towards the end, we are going to blend everything together using the burnishing technique wherein we get rid of the tooth of the paper by flattening it by using harder pressure. But at this point, I'm still using the light pressure. So you can see the skin tone become a little bit warmer because of this PC942 or the Yellow Ochre. For my Filipino, most of my followers are Filipinos, of course, but I also have a lot of non-Filipino followers and subscribers. So that's why I'm trying very hard to speak using the English language, although I'm not very good at it. So sa mga nanonood na Filipino subscribers ko, sana ay mapatawad nyo yung English ko. Alright, so the next pencil, to make it a little bit more, to give it a bit more blush, I think I need to use the PC930. Yeah, PC930, this is the magenta. Prismacolor is a wax-based colored pencils, and this is one of the most used colored pencils by artists around the world. And but it is important to use quality colored pencils like Prismacolor, but it's also important if you invest on colored pencils, you also need to invest on papers. So quality paper is also one of the key factors for the success of every portrait. So good papers, as they say, or many artists believe that good papers make bad colored pencils look good, and bad papers can make good highest quality colored pencils look bad. So I think it's all on the tooth or the texture of the paper. You really need textures in order to build a very good skin tone. So can you see the texture here? The texture, it looks rough and it looks a bit grainy because of the texture of the paper. But I love that. I need that in order to layer many colors of pencils that I need to layer. Because if the paper has no tooth or texture, I wouldn't be able to go layer after layer. I would not be able to build skin tone with so many layers of pencils. So everything starts with layering, and then when I am satisfied with the layered skin tone, that's the only time where I burnish or blend the skin tone and get rid of this tooth of the paper towards the end by flattening it out. Alright, so the next pencil that I will use is this one. What's this? This is the PC929 or pink. I go back with my yellow ochre because I can see that I need, on this part, I need to add a little bit more of this yellow ochre. So you can just go back and forth if you feel like you needed to add more tone on a particular area. As long as we are not yet flattening the paper or the tooth of the paper, you can still add. Although if you are using good papers like this one that I'm using, the Strathmore 400 series Bristol smooth surface, this kind of papers is really high quality, so even if we already flatten the tooth of the paper, we can still add some layers of colors to adjust. Alright, now I can start to blend or to burnish. I think I'm gonna use this pencil, the PC1017, which is the clay rose. I can start by burnishing using this pencil. So I'm gonna blend using this pencil only on the very dark shadows, like here. So not totally burnishing yet. I just want to achieve darker tone here. So maybe medium pressure will do. And then here on the edge of the cheek. So I'm gonna push it a bit harder here. Okay, now I'm gonna burnish this shadow here of the finger. So I'm gonna apply hard pressure to flatten the tooth of the paper. Okay, so by putting hard pressure, everything is blended together at the same time. We get rid of those of the paper, and what we get is very nice. You can see here, the shadow is not just totally black. It has a tone to it that looks a bit natural. So if I use pure black here, this shadow will not look natural. So we'll also do that here. Okay. So next I'm gonna use to blend and to burnish this PC1029, the Nectar. So I'm gonna burnish this a bit darker. This is not very dark, but this is the darkest part of the skin tone. So because if I use white, so basically the white pencil is the burnisher, the main burnisher, but the tendency, if you use white to burnish shadowed parts, the tendency is the white can fade the shadow. So instead of using white, I'm using this pencil, the Nectar, to burnish the darker shadow. So I think that is the only part that I will be needing this PC1092, the Nectar. And then the rest of the skin tone, I'm gonna be using the white to burnish it. So the idea of burnishing again is after layering out the skin tone, after using several colors of colored pencils, you need to now mix the color or blend together using the burnishing technique, which is the idea of burnishing is to flatten out the tooth of the paper and create a very nice, smooth, glowing skin tone, like on this part, or like on this nose. This is the burnished, this is the layered, not yet burnished. So I'm gonna start burnishing it using this white. As you can see, it's almost gone because this is the main burnisher or blender, especially when you are blending lighter or the mid-tone or the light tone. So except for the darker tones, which is you may use light pencils in order to blend or to burnish those shadows, but for lighter shadows like this one, we can just use the white. So I start here. So it doesn't matter if when you are burnishing, it doesn't matter if the pencil is not as sharp when you are layering, because we are putting a bit harder pressure. So again, we are intentionally putting hard pressure to flatten out the tooth of the paper. I really enjoy the burnishing stage or the blending, because every color that you layered on the layering stage will be blended together and create really nice smooth skin tone. So I try to use circular motion. I'm gonna sharpen it a little bit. Now you can see how the skin tone is becoming a little bit more smoother, and the layers of colors come together. So I hope even if this is a very long video, you're able to enjoy it somehow, because I really enjoy it. I enjoy showing you my actual real-time skin tone process. So I think I need to get another white because it's almost consumed. So here is my new white, because I feel like it's not yet fully burnished. So I'm gonna go for it all over again to go on areas that I miss out burnishing. I think I can push a little bit harder. because I can still see some tooth of the paper showing through. So I think you can tell me your opinion on this kind of video, of drawing video, the real time. This is quite a long video, and are you bored with this kind of video, or you like the time lapses, or a quicker video? Because I know there are some of you who like to see the actual process. So as you can see, I'm really using heavy pressure. Now I'm trying to concentrate on the highlighted areas to be able to show the highlights. So I sharpen it, and just enough tip. So as you can see, the skin tone is slowly becoming really smooth, which is what I want to achieve on this portrait of Jisoo. If you have any questions on colored pencils, or any pencil related or portrait drawing related questions, you can always ask me on my comment section, and I'm happy to answer your questions and to help you. I hope I were able to help you, especially beginners in colored pencils. I'm almost done, and but I still need to continue the burnishing until I'm satisfied with the blending and the smoothness of the skin tone. So for beginners, just continue practicing, because this is a skill that needs lots and lots of practice and time and patience and effort. This is not something that you can learn instantly. So this is just one of the, what I can say, my tip in order to be good with colored pencils, especially Prismacolor. Like what I said, if you use a very nice quality paper, you can just, even after burnishing, even if the tooth of the paper is flattened already, you can still add some tones. So it should still allow you to do some adjustments even after burnishing. So that is what I'm gonna do here. Because burnishing may take away some of the tones, but you can still bring them back. So that, like, some yellow tone right here and here. Then I'll go back to the white to do my final burnishing. Alright, so there, I just show you a slice of this portrait. I just show you how I draw realistic skin tone, the layering, the blending, the burnishing, using Prismacolor. I hope somehow you were able to learn something from this very long video, because I did it in real time. And yeah, thank you for